Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beast's murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory. I posted a number of signs, warnings, specifically to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the beech forests were felled.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beechwood forest density and basilisk populations?
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief habitat of roe deer, you see. In turn, a staple of the basilisk diet. When roe deer grew scarce, basilisks made humans their staple food. Enter the witchers. And thus, we've come to this one last specimen. It's a female. As recently as last year, we still had 2. But Jokast's mate passed on, alas.
Jokast?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. Jokast was brooding then. 2 eggs. That she cast from her nest, alas, when the male perished.
Pay the victim's family's compensation? Why?
These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Beyond them, the basilisk ventures not, hunts not, it does not kill or destroy, provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does destroy, if it kills, I compensate all for the loss, from my own coffers.
Your coffers. Got a store of sons and husbands in there to compensate for those shredded by your beast?
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead, but I do make generous restitution to their loved ones. Just last summer, I paid a leather tooler's widow 800 crowns, this unfortunate merchant's family, to be duly indemnified as well.
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies is our dynastic symbol. The Disalfareses have for centuries signed with the Regulus Platinum. As family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time, from a burning building. She took the tyke back to her nest, where she fed him as if he were one of her own youngsters.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Where's the basilisk nesting? Any idea?
Of course I've an idea, but you don't really expect me to tell you. Those are not toy swords. I know your intentions.
Find it myself then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants, so I might also look for the other corpse.
Yamo, Harry, prepare the equipment. Beast wandered off somewheres. We got to lure it back. And who might you be?
Funny. About to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's it you know? And again, who the hell are you?
Neither's your concern.
No concern of ours, you say? Perhaps not. But we got eyes. I can see those razors you got on your back right clear.
He's a witcher. Boholt and his boys. He's there, mate. Heard of him. Geralt of Rivia's the name.
A professional. Good you came along. Could take on the brute together. Talk is the venom's something horrifying. Could use another pair of hands. Fee what we've gotten from the guild, we'll share it fair and square. You in?
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. The creature is protected.
If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be. You cannot slay the last living specimen of a near-extinct subspecies.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel. What say you to that, master? Far as I know, beasts culled the human race by 5 already.
Beast has to die. We work together, we'll make quick work of it.
After all I told you of your caste, you would murder her? Or you will regret this, friend. I know folk. I shall tell them you slew the last surviving specimen.
Sorry, Master de Salvarez. Actually, not sorry. A monster's a monster. Silvery, plaid, or polka-dotted, last or next to last specimen, doesn't matter. It's a dangerous predator that kills humans. Enough said.
Herbalists, alchemists, I know many. They will despise you. I shall tell them of a heartless cur who cares not an ounce for balance in nature. You shall pay arms and legs for their wares. More!
Somebody plug this Lorden's gob, eh? Right, Master Witcher. How do we aim to fight the filth? We've crossbows. Comply with bolts while you do the hack and slash? Or all go at it as a bunch, blades in hand, fire in our hearts? You decide. You're the one with experience.
Use your crossbows, keep her on the ground. Good idea.
Did you say her?
It's a female, yeah.
Hear that, lads? We've a learned witcher here. 100 spans out, and he's spotted what the lizard's got between its legs. Right now, lads. You've heard the specialist. Ready your crossbows.
All good and fine, but the monster's not in its nest. Gotta track it down first.
Not at all necessary, Geralt. We looked into it. Gave it a think. Traders use tannin to lure the beast. Who says we can't do the same?
You got any tannin?
Came into a bit, aye. Yeah, willing to do the honours?
There.
Grab your bellies! Shoot the bitch down! A stroker like that, to fight at a true witcher's side. Prime the way you swung that razor, mate.
Mentioned some fee from a guild. I hear you right?
Ha! Witcher drives right for the gut. A professional, right thorough. Your share, friend. Every last copper as we agreed. We'll collect us a few of them silver scales and a tail. Proof for the guild, right?
And we'll get word of you to some folk. Merchant folk, meaning. They ought to treat you right.
Thanks, and farewell.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basilfauti. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corfu Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary, demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Kedweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corvo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Kedweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more, useful.
Oh, yes, we certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompelli once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yeruga. I will contact him at once.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecoration today. But I wanted to ask you something else.
I shall be glad to answer your every question, sir.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon. Renovations coming along all right, Barnabas Basil?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang weapons and armor, if you've some pieces you'd like to display. Likewise, I have prepared a few spots in which new paintings might be hung. In other news, the laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual discovery. I believe it's something you'll wish to see.
If you say I should see it, I'll go see it right now, BB. BB, know anything about the laboratory in the cellar? One of the previous owners take an interest in alchemy?
A laboratory? Alchemy? I know nothing of it. But I understand that to a witcher this must be a very intriguing find.
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so it must have belonged to someone who lived at Corvo Bianco before you started working here. Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragonglass vials and flasks, stills, sublimators, vengerometers.
Forgive me, sir, but I fear I don't follow.
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of craftsmanship for use in alchemy. Brewing a concoction with this stuff versus doing it over an open fire? Well, there's no comparison.
Then I am all the more delighted you discovered it, sir.
Starting to really like this place. Maybe we should keep going, refurbish some more. What do you think, BB?
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to the house or the grounds this time?
Feels like by investing a bit of coin, I could make the house more functional.
Indeed, momentum is best maintained once established. Now that we've finished the general renovations, you might begin to consider such things as a new bed, or additional armor stands, or weapon racks. Also, some new furnishings and a fresh coat of paint on the walls would do much to improve the guest quarters.
Thinking about buying a comfortable bed. Always wanted one.
Excellent idea. In your profession, rest is supremely important. But say the word, and I shall order you a bed from the carpenters who craft comfort for the court.
Great. Order me a fine bed, please. Think I deserve one at my age.
True indeed, true indeed. I shall send a runner at once. The bet will be in place by this time tomorrow. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Could use another weapon rack. Got some interesting pieces I'd like to display.
I know of a carpentry shop in town which crafts the humblest lumber into true masterpieces. You need but give the word.
Fine. Order the racks.
Of course, at once. At most 1 day for them to arrive, is my estimation. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Along the path, I've often picked up well-crafted, beautifully ornamented armor. Some of those pieces would look great on display here.
I agree. It would lend the place a certain witch's air. Shall I order new stands at once, sir?
Yes. Just please make sure they're solidly made and nicely finished.
It goes without saying, sir. There is nothing worse than splendid armor upon a subpar stand. By this time tomorrow, they shall be ready to display your finest finds. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Was wondering about the guest room. Not that I'm expecting company, but...
Oh, but that is immaterial. All self-respecting homes should boast a comfortable guest room. What if someone were to drop by unannounced?
Yeah. Sooner we start on that, the better.
I can tell a man of action immediately. I'll see to it myself. The room shall be ready in 2 days, in my opinion. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Starting to get into this whole renovating thing. There must be other things we can improve.
What a splendidly wise idea. Now that the general refurbishment is done, why not see to the grounds? Perhaps renovate the stables, or return Madame Boleus's garden to its former verdancy?
You know Roach, my horse? Well, we've been through a lot together. And since I've finally got a decent place to stay, I think she deserves one too.
Oh, a sturdy stable testifies to a most honorable owner. Just say the word, and I'll have them start working on it at once.
My Roach deserves the best. Have them refurbish the stables.
I shall get to work at once. Yet finding workmen and completing construction takes time, though likely no more than 2 days. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
So, sometimes I have to brew a potion, but I can't find the herbs I need growing anywhere nearby.
Well, you're in luck, sir. The flower garden, once kept by Madame Nina, Monsieur Boleus's wife, seems the ideal place to cultivate herbs. In fact, it's roomy enough to plant shrubbery.
Good idea, Barnabas Basil. Herbs there will save me hours of painstaking searching and harvesting.
The idea is yours, sir. I am but the humble executor of your will. I believe we shall have sown the first seeds in 2 days' time. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Starting to get into this whole renovating thing. There must be other things we can improve.
With the utmost respect, sir. The vineyard has arrived at the pinnacle of perfection. Any further changes could prove a regrettable step down the slope towards the brash. I firmly advise against it.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.